good possibility that I wouldn't be in the job that I am now.
We all have regrets in life, but retaining to my job, I have no regrets. My job position, what I do, where I work.
There isn't much I could have done differently because of the way my parents were. But when I was growing up, I always wanted to be, and swore to God I would never live the life my parents lived. Fatigue it does, and especially at work, you feel like you're running a mile when you get somebody next to you that's just pushing motors as fast as they can.
It involves nothing but repetitious work at Mercury. So when I'm in the booth, excuse me, there's maybe 20, 25 different main parts that come through, and probably about 6 or 7 of ones that densely come through the booth. I'm standing in one spot all day with a paint gun in my hand, and the line continuously moves, stops only for breaks. So yeah, I don't think you get any more repetitious than that. You got a gear case. As soon as you know where that gear case is, you turn into a robot after a while. I can paint that thing virtually with my eyes shut. Matter of fact, we've joked around about it, and we've tried and done it.
Yeah.
You might run the hell out of it, but you do it, and it's, we're painting. I believe the number is around 1,200 parts per day. If you know anybody in the automotive body shop repair business, that guy will spray maybe 1.5 gallons, 2 gallons of paint a month. Literally spray, I'm not saying mix it. Every day, each painter in that booth sprays between 5 and 6 gallons of paint per day. So that just gives you an idea. We're doing more than what the body shop guy does in 8 hours than he does in an entire month of work.
It's very repetitious, and mostly all manufacturing jobs are repetitious.
So that's repetitious. I mean, you're not going to get any more intense than that on that level. And as far as it affecting your everyday life, then yeah, I mean, you go home, you're tired. I was standing in a black paint booth all day. If that paint booth was colored bright yellow, I might come out of there a little more cheery. But all I'm doing is standing next to the same guy. And don't get me wrong, we work with some good guys, but when you're in the paint booth with that same guy for 8 hours a day, sometimes 7, 8 days in a row, there's only so much crap you can talk about, and that's when you resort to thinking back to exactly the same questions you're asking me. What the hell could I have done different to get me out of this paint booth? And yeah, physically, it wears and tears on your joints. You're making the same moves every day. Mentally, you're better than that. But what the hell are you doing here? Once again, resorts back to the other question. It's about money. You're stuck in a lifestyle now that supports a certain amount of income, and we don't make that money. So when you're doing that, you have children, you have the house to worry about. It affects all that because you don't want to be there.
My name is Russell Schumacher. I sold technology to the world back when there was technology, and people to sell it to. Before the fall, whenever things got too overwhelming, I'd go to a quiet place, a lakeside park near Ballard. Sometimes, though, the best place was home. But this was different. I was home, but didn't even know how I got there. What do you want from me? Why are you doing this?
It was an accident. I didn't mean to.
What was an accident? Tell me. Wasn't sure if I was alive or dead. There was a weird dream logic to everything, but this was like no dream I'd ever had. It was so real. I could smell the coffee, Janelle's French roast.
I've been waiting for you, Russ.
Is this really happening?
Nobody knows for sure. Kizzy had that nightmare again. The one where you go to work, but never come home.
I explained. I was trying to get home, trying desperately. But 3,000 miles, it's a long way. Even longer when people are hunting you. Kizzy?
She's just a child. She doesn't understand your need to help others.
I told them I was sorry. Sorry for ever leaving them. For not being there when this whole thing happened. For not really being there even when I was there. I want to be a better father, a better husband.
I forgive you, Russ. You're doing the best you can. You need to rest.
I told her there was no time. Promised I'd walk faster. No more stops, just straight home.
Take your time.
I tried to get up, to hold her, but I couldn't move.
Take your time, Russ. There are some who need you more than we do.
Then I found myself back at the St. Giles. My hotel room the night before it all happened. It was 5:16 in the morning, 1 minute before the fall. This crazy thought crossed my mind. That I'd dreamed the whole thing. That I'd wake up the next morning in New York. And everything would be normal again. I could feel the calm rolling in.
Well, first of all, I agree that American high schools are dysfunctional in many ways, and I'm all for innovative ways of fixing them. The problem is that one, whenever you give kids, particularly 16-year-olds, the option of opting out in 10th grade, what happens is you get this stratified circumstance where the kids who are poor, the kids who struggle, the kids that the teachers don't want are more likely to opt out and not pursue all the way up to 12th grade. The other thing is that high school and school in general is not just about education. It's about providing morals, civic engagement, identity, values, and all these other things that we want our American children to have. And if you let them leave in 10th grade, they won't have them. 16-year-olds don't have foresight. You know, I wanted to be a pro wrestler when I was 16. If you give me the chance to opt out, I may have done that.
Hey,
then I wouldn't be here with you, Steve.
It's never too late. We can get you some spandex down there in Philly. So Mark,
I'm wearing them.
Please stop it. Mark Tucker, why do you see some value to that argument?
No, actually, I'm afraid I don't.
Remember, the guy wanted to be a wrestler.
No, actually, what we're talking about, remember, is that these kids can only move on if they show that they're ready to do college-level work.
Okay.
The big problem now, so that they wouldn't be able to leave high school and by passing this
they've
test.
got to be able to do the work.
They have to be able to do the work.
Final 10 seconds,
again,
Professor.
First of all, high school is not just about being able to do the work. And the other thing is you can teach someone to pass a high-stakes test. That doesn't necessarily mean that they have the values and the maturity and all the other things that we want them to have when they leave 12th grade.
All right. Mark Tucker and Mark Lamont Hill, the dual lean Marks, we thank you both for joining us live today.
I don't think respected is a good word. I think they acknowledge that we do them a service, and I think my supervisor, I think at least acknowledges that I do a pretty darn good job at my job. But I wouldn't say respected, no.
I think that's a food chain question. It starts out at the top and works its way down. You know, obviously, Pat Mackey has no idea who the hell I am, nor would he care if he did run into me. Not that he's that kind of guy, but you know, he's on a corporate level, has much bigger fish to fry than to worry about the guy on the floor. You know, they'll all tell you that they do. You or I would feel the same way. You know, if we're in upper management too, we can't. It's not that we don't want to be. We can't be concerned with the little guy. You know what I mean? Certain aspects of